Hello everyone, I am here today with a video, basically just going over Nova Launcher. After doing a couple What's on My Device videos now, I've always wanted to go more in depth with my Nova Launcher setup and all the individual settings for everything, and that itself could have been its own video, so this is that video. I'm going to go through every setting, every little nook and cranny to make, to kind of detail just how I get my phone to look like this and what I do with my setups. So let's get into it. Right off the bat, getting to my Nova settings is a little unorthodox. I just have this, I shrunk down the menu size up here just to those 3 dots, and that's how I get into Nova settings. So every time I want to change a setting, I go back up to that, but I'm not digging around the settings so often, so that's not really a problem for me. So I'm going to go through these just one by one. Let's get started. For the desktop, I have the grid set to 7:6. I do not use the subgrid positioning. I use this just to keep my icons and everything close together to save as much screen space as possible. I don't really like how stock Android leaves the spaces so large. I should probably make a shortcut. It's going to get annoying. Back to desktop, let's see, width margin, this is small, height margin is also set to small, just so it's not going to the complete edge of the phone, that way I don't like accidentally touch something if I don't mean to. I don't use the search bar at all since this is my Moto X. I can always just use my touchless control for that or swipe up from the home button. Also, speaking of which, the navigation bar and sometimes for the status bar up here, these will not be affected by Nova Launcher. That's a totally different process for that. Home screens, I just use a standard 3 home screens. One for 2 of these are dominated totally by widgets for my to-do list and my calendar. And then on the main one here, I use dash clock and then my more favorite applications there. Just because I don't like digging through home screens to find out whatever information I'm looking for. I also changed that on my tablet recently too. I used to have like 5 wallpapers on, or 5 home screens on there. It's just, not a fan of scrolling through all of those. What were we on next? Scroll effect. Using card stack. Wallpaper scrolling is on. I don't use infinite scroll. I took off the scroll indicator. I don't know, I guess just cause. A lot of this is just personal preference, stuff like that. Yes, resize all widgets. And that about does it for there. The app drawer, this is, there are some kind of major stuff on here. The app drawer grid is 5:4 for portrait, and landscape is 3:7, again, to get the most kind of out of the screen real estate here. Scroll effect is card stack, and this is just because, that's just for switching between pages on the app drawer there. Background, I don't use background color. The important thing here is the transparency. I set that to 50% just because I think it looks a lot cooler when I can kind of, the background gets dimmed a little and I can still kind of see through it, and then it looks more like it's just popping up on the screen like that. Eek. I should definitely make a shortcut for that. I've never had to go here so many times. The drawer style. Now this is, I guess, probably the most important part. I have this set to vertical. I love the vertical scrolling app drawer ever since back on my Droid X on, I don't know if it was Froyo or Gingerbread, but it had a vertical scrolling application drawer and I've loved it ever since that. So that's why I always go back to that. Tab style, I set this to small tabs, and what this does is it hides the tabs up here, so it makes it look like it's just a full screen of applications in the drawer. And I think that looks a lot cooler. And then you see a little switcher up here just for different pages. I made a page here for games. Not that I really use this page much. I'll probably just get rid of that, but I think it looks cooler. It gives them more of a full screen effect, especially since I kind of laid over the nav buttons here and the status bar. So I think it looks pretty nice. Is there anything else in here? Menu action, this is where I made the menu button smaller, or no, it's not. Menu action, this shows up like what's in the menu action, I guess. You can have it set to Play Store or nothing, and I have it just set to the menu for Nova Launcher. I don't use infinite scroll. I label the icons, and I just make that just make the labels white. Again, a lot of this stuff is personal preference here. For groups, I did make one for gaming and widgets. The names just didn't show up because I made those tabs smaller. And you do have the ability to hide apps with Nova Launcher, which is pretty useful. I do have a few hidden like stuff for for banking and stuff like that. I hide those applications, and that's always nice to do if like, you know, some people are gonna be using your phone and you don't want them to dig through some crap. All right, onto the dock. I have the dock enabled. I have everything just kind of stock here. This is all off. I don't use any backgrounds or anything like that on my dock. I leave it all transparent. I have typical 5 applications, 2 pages. I use infinite scrolling on the dock page, small margin again. The dock height, I wish I could go smaller, but for whatever reason I can't make it go smaller, so it's set to medium. You can make small icons to make the dock icons the same size as the rest of the icons on your page. I took out the divider. This way the dock just kind of shows up here. There's no page indicator, no divider or anything. Just, I don't know, makes it look kind of cool in my opinion, I guess. What were we on next? Infinite scroll. I don't label those. I don't label any of the icons on my home screens. And you can overlay it if you wish to do so. Onto the folders. Folder preview. I really don't use. I guess I kind of use folders now, but I never leave the preview the same. I always change the preview to something a little more custom, and that's a setting coming up here. Background transparency. We at background, and then you can make it something custom if you like. Like I used one for some health applications. I found just an application of Andy in some workout gear, so I set it to that instead. I don't like just, I don't know, it makes it look more uniform, especially with like the whole Stark icon pack that I have going on. That's up for folders. Look and feel. Color theme, I set this to black, and what this is basically like, if you you can see swiping to the side here, the kind of shadowy hue that comes over things. Also, if you try to resize something, that means the bar is going to be black. That's what that color means. Out of all the times I'm going to hit that in this video, I should have just made a shortcut. Where were we? Look and feel. The icon theme, this is one way to go about changing it. I have this set to Stark, and then for my dock icons, I just went through individually and changed those icons to Moonshine. Icon font, I have that set to light. Size should be all normal. Auto rotate, left all the speeds and stuff the same here. App animation, I have this set to the L preview, the slide up. As you can see kind of there, when you click on something, it'll go up. Stuff that kind of slides up. Just to get a little more L-y, like I got my L-y. I got my Android L buttons going on here, which I think they look fantastic. So I'm just trying to get ready for the Android L that's going to be coming this fall. I don't hide the clock or anything like that. I do have the notification bar transparent, so when I'm on the home screen, this guy gets blurred and dimmed into the background, which makes it look a lot cooler. I've noticed on my Moto X, it doesn't work all the time. Like sometimes I have to swipe down just to reset it a little bit. Like it never happens on my Nexus 7, so that's interesting. Gestures and buttons, I don't use gestures at all. I guess except pinch in to show my preview of my home screens, but I'm not really into those, I guess. Okay, Google. Should have known. Should have known. I don't use this at all, actually, because this is a Moto X, and I have my touchless control, so I can do that from any page. I don't even have to be on one of my home screens. And there's actual functionality for the Google Now I don't think it's supported for the Moto X, actually, probably just for that reason alone. So I don't use that. Unread counts, what you can do here is you can make it a little counter show up on like an email icon or your Hangouts icon or text messaging, and a little account will show up. Show if you have any unread messages or notifications or stuff like that. You have to. This is for the paid version, I believe, and you have to download another application. I think it's called Tesla. Yeah, Tesla Unread. Download that, and that would show up in your icons. I think that's like in iOS as well, but I found that I never used it, so I got rid of that. New apps. I do not like stuff adding new apps to my home screens without asking me, so I turned that right off. Backup and import. This is a nifty feature for Nova Launcher. You can back up your current settings. You can choose where to store it, what to name it, and you can restore backups. I got an interesting idea from someone. I guess I never really thought of this before. I think I'm going to try to include a link to this actual backup, like the one I just made. I'll include a link to that and put in the description of this video. It wouldn't load the apps necessarily if you don't have them installed or something, but I think it should work for all the rest of the settings, transition settings, etc. So I'll give that a shot. I haven't looked into that. I don't even know if it'll really work, but let's do it. Nova Launcher Prime, again, I'm pretty sure I'm on the beta. I don't really remember, but I think so. I'll just set the default. Advanced options, I don't really use any. Aggressive desktop has never been an issue for me. I don't have any, it's not been redrawing on me or anything like that. But unless I have completely forgotten something, and please let me know if I have, that should be all of my Nova Launcher settings, and that would be how I go about making my phone look like this. I can kind of talk about my home screens. I guess that should be the last thing. I just make this entire widget for the whole page here. This dash clock widget actually goes in here. I just don't have any other notifications. I have a whole bunch of extensions. Usually I have to scroll through for all of those. Here's my Stark icons and Moonshine icons down here. Another cool thing worth mentioning is for the icons, you can edit them, and you can add a I want to go to edit. You can add a swipe function. So when you swipe up, it'll do something else. And for YouTube, for example, I have it set to when I swipe up, it brings me to the YouTube Creator Studio application. And this stuff is coming really in handy. I have Facebook swipe up set to go right into my Facebook Messenger. Phoenix, if I swipe up, it'll go right into composing a tweet. Nothing for Reddit, nothing for Instagram. Don't think I have this music icon down here. This is actually for Power Amp, which I just bought, it was on sale. If I tap it, it goes into Power Amp. If I swipe up, it goes into Spotify. And for Gmail, if I swipe up, it goes right into composing an email. So that's a pretty neat function of Nova Launcher itself. I guess while I'm here, I could show you how I change like the icons for stuff I want to. You click edit and then click on the icon, and then all your different packs will show up here. You have your built-in, Moonshine, and Stark for me. Then you can scroll through and make anything you want. You can apply these to folders or whatever makes you happy. And like you can do that with the icon launcher as well. Oh, and also on the idea of that swipe up function, there's a did I have to? Oh, I did have that set to Nova settings, and I totally forgot it. Oh, silly me. Must have just been on that one. Anyway, you can to go about this, you can, for the swipe up feature, you can set to any of the Nova actions that you would like. Setting a default page, toggling the dock, recent applications. You can set it to open an actual application. Or you can have it set to a shortcut, which are kind of actions within an actual application. Without getting kind of too in-depth here, like some of them show up on this screen, then most of them will show up under activities. And these are kind of hard to navigate, but if you go to an application, it'll kind of list out in an odd way for you. Like if I go to Drive, there's 17 activities here, And you kind of have to go through this kind of like file location thing. I could have it set to a global search or a, like this one says open URL activity. But some of them are kind of obvious, like this one, drive scan, drive shortcut. But that would be how you set custom swiping functions such as that. And just that last page there. And I think that's about it. That does it for my Nova Launcher setup. I will have that backup file in the description of this video, and I will also include a link to I made a public folder on Google Drive for all the wallpapers that I use. I'll include a link for that, so everybody should be able to go and download that folder if you like and take what you like out of that. I update that like all the time, so cool. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this wasn't out, came out kind of long, but thanks for watching. If you have any questions, if I forgot anything, let me know. See ya.